Hey guys, welcome. It's Sunday today, and I wanted to jump on to talk to you today more about continuing our conversation in my previous video on setting your goals and having a plan. I wanted to talk to you about keeping positive and practicing ways to have positivity and optimism in everyday life. And I wanted to go over like 7 different ways that you can, okay? So, being positive and optimistic, people will lead themselves to constantly find encouragement within their soul. And the more you give out positivity, the more you get back, right? Here are 7 reasons or 7 essential mantras that I find helpful in keeping myself in a positive frame of mind. And the first one is guiding your energy. If you've ever heard a quote from Muhammad Ali, he always said, "I'm the greatest," right? Well, he said that before he even knew he was going to be great, right? Because he really concentrated on positivity. So, according to like quantum physics and our thoughts, we have this frequency and corresponding unique vibration that attracts similar frequencies. So if you're thinking negative and negatively thinking about, situations, then you're going to attract negative, right? Positivity, thinking positive, is going to attract positive things. So when we have people like Buddha and Aristotle and others, they have suggested that how we think, we're creating the energy that ultimately manifests itself, to our realities. So if we go into a situation with a negative thought, we're bound to be destined to have a negative outcome. And this also applies when, thinking of our collective consciousness. So when a group of people, right, gets together and they focus their and guides their mental energy on the positive outcome, the likelihood is going to be that you're going to have that positive income. Its success is usually a lot higher than otherwise. So the group's collective energy attracts positivity or negativity. So it's how it gets, directed, right? So we have to connect ourselves. And life is a process of ongoing transformation, okay? And it's really spurred by the, interlinked qualities of curiosity and purpose and courage in what we want to do. When you know yourself, you can act with confidence, and that confidence is your own, right? The better understanding we have of nature, in the world, the better we can move forward in the world. The better we understand the nature of ourselves. Okay. Next is practicing visualization. So the visualization is perhaps one of the many attributes that we have that assures us our, future. In the psychology community, a creative visualization refers to when you're practicing to seek the effect of that outer world by changing one's thoughts and expectations. So, to visually understand, the visualizing the technique is used by a lot of winners in all walks of life. Our minds have an enormous capacity to connect with the invisible dots that are going to get us to strive for something that's really impossible. Number 4 is we want to slow down to move forward. Gary Vee uses this and says, macro patience and micro speed. So you want to drink your tea slowly and reverently, as if, it's the axis in which the world and Earth revolves around. So when you're slowly, evenly, without rushing to suck it down, you live in the actual moment. So sometimes we need to, slow down, move forward, okay? And that can lead to greater things. You'll have more of an appreciation of life and greater levels of happiness, which yields better results in one's, endeavors and whatever you're doing. So, being truly in the moment allows us to really escape from adversity and really conserve our inner energy. And when you live in that moment, it doesn't mean we don't care about the future or what's going on. It means that when we, make a choice to do something, that we focus on that, right? It's rather than letting our minds wander in the future of things, or the past, we focus on what that is. Fifth thing is we want to read, write, and watch. So something I wrote down here is, so the inspiration can come from anywhere and anyone. Mine often comes from movies, books that combine life stories with kind of a spiritual journey. So, and writing to us consciously puts like that positive reaffirmation on paper, and you're visualizing your destiny. So we can read things, we can type things, but it's when we actually write things down, it's embedding in our mind, and it's really therapeutic for coping with a lot of adversity. So it allows me to turn my anger into fear and disappointment into inspiration, and really starts to get the ball rolling, right? And turns negative situations into positive by finally expressing what you feel deep down inside. I hope that makes sense. Number 6 is be kind to yourself. I mean, you are your temple, right? Your body, your mind. There's a great book, it's called The Art of Happiness, and that is from the Dalai Lama. And he says that if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. So it's particularly difficult to really stay positive in the face of adversity and failure. I understand that. I mean, for many, even though it may be really easy for us to show compassion to others, it may be hard to accept or embrace compassion, from others, and to be compassionate towards themselves. So some of us blame others for all our miseries and our downfalls. Some blame themselves. Often it's easy to blame oneself and feel sorry for one another, or feel sorry for yourself, but it's only through being able to let go and have compassion for oneself and self-encouragement that we can pursue a path of positivity for ourselves. So finally, I have the development of resiliency. In the end, you're lucky. You see that our trials and tribulations are really what improves us, because we learn by those things, right? And if you're lucky enough and somewhat insightful, you can see that whatever your trial has been, it's exactly what you needed to grow. Our trials make us who we are. So positive people develop a mental capacity that really allows them to adapt to situations and, with ease during adversity, and to really develop a set of powerful mental traits. And resiliency, that really begins with your adaptability, your acceptance, and gratitude. So success and happiness doesn't always come from blasting through, rocks and impediments. Rather, it's about having faith and courage and letting the process happen, letting it go through. So attitude to cope with harsh realities of life. Above all, positive and optimistic people, they lead themselves by constantly finding encouragement within their soul. And sometimes that's in the form of helping others, or getting involved with others. So they surround themselves with other positive people, and they inspire others despite of their own personal adversities or pitfalls. So the more you give out, the more you get back. That's really what it comes down to. So I hope this kind of helps you today, as in all my videos, and understand those 7 ways to project the positivity moving forward in your life. And so I want you guys to go out there and believe in that. Surround yourself with positive people, positive situations. Think the positive. It may not always be, but try to look at the positive side of aspects out there. All right. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.